star in ways both profound and immeasurable. Sometimes we tend to romanticize the life of the dearly departed. But isn't it just befitting of a life not so ordinary as that of Tita Rose, a life she dedicated to others? Miss Rosa Rosal was more than an icon, more than a public figure, and more than the accolades that she received across a lifetime of service. She was simply and undeniably a force of compassion. I like that, a force of compassion. A woman who transformed the idea of humanitarian work from an obligation into a calling, and from a calling into a life's purpose. Many first knew Rosa Rosal as a celebrated actress of Philippine cinema, a star whose grace, beauty, and commanding presence captivated the nation. While not direct lines, she is remembered for her stoic and self-sacrificing characters, especially in Anak Dalita, the tragic, dignified Bajau woman she portrayed in Bajau. Her femme fatale and dramatic roles in noir-style films of the 1950s. See, I'm a true fan. Kahit hindi ko na naabutan doon. Nag-research ako. What a beautiful, talented woman. But it was the role she embraced off-screen, the one she lived with unwavering devotion for decades, that forever defined her legacy, her work with the Philippine Red Cross. For over half a century, Ms. Rosal served the Red Cross with a level of dedication that is rare in any era. She traveled tirelessly and she showed a mettle unlike any other. She would enter a room filled with pain, fear, or despair and instantly soften it with her presence. There are countless stories of Rosa Rosal and how she would extract blood in more than one way. Naku, nandiyan na si Rosa Rosal. Mababawasan na naman tayo ng dugo. Ay, nandiyan na si Rosa Rosal. O, pumila na kayo doon at i-flex na ang mga bias. We were going to interview her, Ruth Cole was there, and upon sitting down before anything, Tita Rose said, Korina, magbigay ka naman ng dugo. Ha? Talaga ba? Kapwa ko, ang mahal-mahal mo naman. Dugo talaga hinihingi mo? The next thing I knew, the entire ABS-CBN had an appointment for blood donation from its employees to her. I asked her if asking for blood wherever she went was difficult. She said, and I posted this, Aba, alam mo Korina, kahit hindi ka mayaman, kailangan ang ayos mo para mayaman. Lalo na kapag nangihilimos ka sa mga mayayaman. Sabay aura, and who at that point, Tita Rose, struck a pose. She once said that giving blood was the simplest act of love that anyone can offer, and she lived by that belief every day. Her colleagues in humanitarian service speak of her with a reverence reserved for the rarest of leaders. She did not lead with authority, she led with example. She rolled up her sleeves, literally, and held the hands of donors as she extracted. Her leadership was empathy in action. And this is perhaps what makes Ms. Rosal's life so extraordinary. She turned goodness into a lifetime habit. In a world often distracted by fame and spectacle, she chose humility. In a world that can grow tired and cynical, she chose service. And in a world that frequently looks away from suffering, she looked directly toward it, then stepped forward. Yet even as we pay tribute to her public legacy, we must remember the deeply human woman behind it. She was born, gently humorous, and endlessly generous. She never lost her tenderness, even as she saw more hardship than most of us will ever witness. Today, as we honor her life, we must also honor the values she fought for: compassion, dignity, kindness, and the unwavering belief that helping another person is the greatest expression of what it means to be human. For the question that we often ask ourselves, what are we here for? Why were we born? Kay Tita Rose ko nalaman ang sagot. We were all born to make life better than when we found it. Today, Ms. Rosal leaves behind a legacy that spans generations. So children who once received blood transfusions through her campaigns grew into adults now, whose lives are forever shaped by her generosity. But perhaps the most enduring gift she leaves us is this. She showed us that a single life devoted to service can uplift millions and generations. I am not a very needy person, but when I needed Tita Rose to stand as surrogate mother in my wedding, because my mom had died ahead, she was there for me. Maybe being one of the OG women livers, way before her time, I think, my husband would probably not want to hear what Tita Rose had advised me about married life. As we say farewell to Ms. Rosa Rosal, let us not allow our grief to overshadow the brilliance of her life. Instead, let us carry forward her mission. Let us remember that service is not exclusive to the extraordinary. It becomes extraordinary through the heart with which it is given. Today we release her into the gentle embrace of rest. She has given all she could. Naku, si Tita Rose parang mahinhin pero amasona po ang pagkakakilala ko sa kanya. She has carried more than her share of her own life and of this country's burdens. And she has done so with grace, dignity, and love. Till her last 5 years, she could not do what she was born to do. Still, with grace, dignity, and love. Tita Rose, thank you, as everybody else says thank you, for your compassion, your leadership, your courage, and your humanity. Thank you for showing us what it means to live a life of purpose. Thank you for reminding us that the truest measure of any life is how well we have served others. May you rest now in peace, knowing that the world is better because you were here. Maraming salamat. Farewell, beloved Rosa Rosal. And now you may all proceed to the clinic setup over here for your blood donations. Alcoholics not included. Maraming salamat po.